a Saturday. I am going to do a reading the tape highlight reel for the week on what I think were the most interesting trades that I saw that fit my style. And here's my list: Monday's Apple breakout, Tesla's Thursday breakout, Wednesday beyond fail, and the Friday opening drive. So let's. This isn't the play that made the most sense to me, but I think it's interesting. Is if you look at the daily chart, Tesla has like this 412, 413 level, which has been support for this whole thing. And this is day one of earnings, and we're gapping down into this. So I do think this is a high risk to reward area to look at. So I want to look at the tape in this zone to see if there's a clear indication that this would be a good place to get long, because this is the best risk to reward of the day, right? And you're getting the best price of the entire day. You're basically buying the low of the consolidation range here, and if you were super excited, you could hold to the high. So let's see what we get here. So we'll be looking at the offer. And the offer is just stepping down. 60 cents, 50 cents, so still selling really consistently. 60, 70, 80, a little bit of buying activity in here. 50, 40. So, but really that area of interest is like 413. So we gotta see what happens if we get down to 413. So we're holding 414, 20, 40, 50. So we want to see a distinct change on the tape. And we're already up to 415. And we're looking for 413 to hold. So we might have missed it. Like, I think that it was like 2 minutes ago. So let's look at it again. So we're at 415.80. See, we dropped. We're at 416. Look at the off 415.80. 40. So let's look when we get to like 413, 414. So I don't think anything's changed. But 415 is holding. Now 414, 80, 60, 70. Let's see when the sellers cannot press it any lower. See if we can see it. For 14.30. Let's see if we can see a flush in a 413. See, they can't press it lower now. Now it jumps back up. That's it right there. That was it. So they tried to press it lower and it just jumped right back up. And now the bid is stepping up. 415, 50, 70, 80. We flashed 416. Like that's it. So now you can get long, risking just below those lows. Like there you go. And I don't think we get retested. Maybe 413.50. So let's just put it in fast forward, because I don't think this matters now. And you can see we get this rubber band. But we're at the bottom of this bigger, higher time frame range right now. And the Qs, by the way, are breaking out. Like they're running. So you can see we have a ton of we're down here. And we closed here. So to fill this gap is like 440. So, I mean, what's the risk to reward on the gap fill? 413.65 to 4, let's say 15, $2, and there's 20 points. So it's 10 to 1 if you're able to hold this thing. So now we're holding above VWAP. So I'm just going to move us along a little bit. So we did have this pullback, but it wouldn't have tested our entry. And that now has our higher low. So now let's go to the next place to get involved, which was at 1102, which is where I took this trade. Oh, no, 1102. 1103, we already broke out, so we know that happens. So I think this is the spot that has the highest risk to reward. Well, not the highest risk to reward, but the best probability, kind of the highest EV, right? So we're holding above. In fact, I think I took it at this 424 held. But let's just look. Let's look for where things really change. So we're coming in a high a day. I think this is going to be where it hits. 452, 426.60. Now we're going. So now you could be in against right there. So there's your stop. And there's your entry. I have plenty of time. Let's just say it's about the highs. So now you're risking 426.50 to 424. $2.50. And I think that 440's in target. And that 440... $14 divided by 2.5, so it's a 6 to 1, 5 to 1. So now we just let it work. I think that's the spot. You can see the volume just comes in here really good. So there's no reason to sell this thing. And I think you got to hold this thing for the duration. Hold for the gap fill. I think that's the reality of the gap and support resistance is hold for the fill. We got a little consolidation there. Could probably add there. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So let's see our list. Okay, so we looked at Tesla, 2 trades. Let's look at Wednesday on the Beyond Burger. So Beyond is gapped up. It's gone from like 50 cents to $5. So let's see what it was like at like 12 o'clock. Let's see if that's it. Let's see there, Beyond Burger. Oh, that's beyond it. So we're really looking in here for the fail. Like 11.20. $11 There it is. So I think this is an area of interest because we have come down into VWAP, we have shown buying, and now we're looking at rolling. So if we roll VWAP again, we should really be rolling here. So let's look at the offer. There's size everywhere on this thing, so it's really hard. It's doing like 1 billion shares. I think we just got to see the offer just drop, like below. I really wanted to see it drop this low, 640, 662. Because we have a high, now we have a lower high. And we have a lower low. So now we want to see us break the lower low. It's kind of like the backside scenario. And I'm guessing our first target should be like low a day. Did you see that flash of people hitting the bids, hitting the offer? See, 40, 43, 41. It should like go down big time right here. Let's see. That was it. Want to see it again? There was it. Drop 40. There you go. So quick. One more time. Let's see it in half speed. Oh, I already missed it. Look at the size on the bid. Do it one more time. The bid is stacked right now lower, down to 40 cents. Look at that size down lower too. Look at 40 cents just stacking up.
Look at that all stacked up. That's a lot of shares at 40 cents. So that means if there's sellers that get filled here and it can't lift, it's just going to rip down. And we did. Look at that. We just ripped down 20 cents. So let's go back again one more time because that's pretty interesting. And it's really hard to catch it real time because this is a really active tape. There it was. There's that 40-cent bid just like getting destroyed. Look at that. This is at half speed and it's so hard to catch. Okay, let's see if we catch it. Look at all those at 41 cents. $0.41. I mean, 614. Like that's a lot of shares offered at 40 cents, or bid at 40 cents. Look at that. It's a huge stack of size. That's why we went down. And that's all selling on the bid, right? That's just people shorting on the bid, selling on the bid. Those are not buyers. These are people that want to sell on the bid. And look at the transactions too. Look at the time in sales. 10,000, which is add 2 zeros. That's 1 million shares right there. There's 500,000 shares. And then this is like 500,000. This is like, millions of shares. Still a bunch of 40 cents. And then look at $276,000 shares. And there we go, just flashed down to 35 cents because someone swept the book. The book just swept. And we just pissed down. Oof. So now we're down 50 cents on a $6.40. So 0.5 divided by 6. We're down 8% in literally like a 1 minute candle. And we should go full speed now. And we're halted. So the halt should resume in 9 minutes. And 5 minutes, sorry. So now we're opened up. So here's So now we're trying to push up. So this is the other place where there's some major edge in getting involved. So we already showed that we're consolidating at the lows. So when we roll and take out this low, that could be interesting. So now we actually push up. Well, that's interesting. Into that 40 cents and fail. So this would be another lower high. And that was a key area. So actually, you could get short right in there. Because we just put another lower high. We retraced the entire move into that key area that sold super hard. There's a ton of supply. Again, the bid is just stacked lower. And this is pretty interesting. But I don't really see the C at moment. I mean, you could have a position trade here. Like off that 40 cents. Like we should not hold above that. If we do, then this trade is invalidated because that was such a strong selling area. But let's see if we can see an amazing area on the tape that just looks super clear. Timer's going off, but we'll give it a little more time because it's super fun. Let's use the fast forward function. Oh, look at that stacked up there. That was it right there. That was definitely the turn. Yeah, that's just about to get short. Let's move it back to 1x and let's move back to that turn. Okay. So 9 cents. So let's size. Oh, yeah, there was size on the bid. More size on the bid. Yeah, that's the turn. All that size is just spilling out and we're just dropping. That was it. And then we can just watch this at 10x and see where it goes. So we should take out lows. And we should be thinking about that 513. To sell a third of our position into the low days. Cover a third of our position in the low days, see what happens. Cover 30% right there. And we pause at low day. We halt at low day. And the Qs, by the way, are dumping. So now reopen and we just dump out more. So now we are targeting 350. And we're halted again. And we're halted again. bounce off 350. That's place to take another third. So now we're 2/3 out, and our stop's like right here. And I think in here is a decent place to get out, right? So there you go. The 350 was a gap fill. So once again, gap up, fail. So we're gapping into support or resistance. Let's look at the daily on this and see, because this is basically a gap into support resistance. Yep. This 637 zone, and then also this $8 zone is resistance. And if we go down to the lower time frame, let's do the 2 minute. Oh, we frozen? We're not working, so. Okay, fair enough. So we looked at Tesla Beyond. So let's look again. I did this before, but it didn't work. It's Friday's opening drive in AMD, if this thing works. But it didn't record, so... Oh, do we have another one right there? Intel. So Friday's opening drive in AMD. AMD opening drive. So we're looking right here on the 1 minute. I thought this was just an interesting kind of scalp trade. And it happened at like 9:03. Let's say 04. Yes. 9:34 actually. No, 9:32. So yeah, this is where the trade sets up. So AMD gapping out, daily breakout, has a little bit trouble at pre-market highs, but it eventually takes it out. And I think that this tape was pretty clear that there was a lot of buying, where there was a lot of selling. So 244, you know, the area of interest is basically the 245.50. Which it sold the first time I got up there. So let's see what it does at 245.50 in here. 244.70. $245.40, $245.50. Now look at it. It was selling and now it's just buying. 38, 47, 48, 46. I think you can get long against this candle right here. You're above everything. Your stop is right there, and you're going for 250. It's a close number, especially 247. You know, which basically you would have been in like right here. So you're risking like 60 cents. And 250 minus basically 246. 4 divided by 0.5. So you basically have an 8 to 1. Like, this is an excellent risk to reward trade if you keep that nice tight stop. It's a 5% of your daily risk because you were just scalping kind of an opening drive. But, you know, 8 times 4, you'd make 40% of your daily risk on this play. So, look at how fast this happens for you too. 248, 40. This is why the opening drive can be dangerous, because you catch one of these and then you want to catch them every day. And they're not here every day. They just happen to be here on this day. So 248, 70. So we want to see if we can kiss 250. But I think, you know, 249's 80. Like, we see that, we should have an offer up there at 250, 249.90, something like that. We might spray pass, but 249.12, 20. I mean, this is just kind of easy money. Now, I think my stop would have to be at this point. That's pretty tight, but it's an opening drive. So now 249.12. So we could struggle up here. I think we do. But I think if we drop 248, I would want to be out of this trade. 249.50, 40, 57. We struggled at 249.50. So now we're just watching. We're just practicing relaxing too, right? Seeing the market with an open mind, not making assumptions, just letting the price action do its thing. So we could spend some time up here. If you were trading this as a 2-bar break, which is not a bad way to trade it as a 2-bar break, your stop is right here. So let's see if the 2-bar break takes us out. Otherwise, we're holding for 250. But if the 2-bar break takes us out, I think that's reasonable. Look at the Qs shooting up. So now that bar should close in 6 seconds, maybe 4 seconds. 249.80, 90 out, 250. That's your trade. You're hitting into 250. You're getting in on a 1-minute chart. Basically, as soon as it holds up above this, so somewhere in here, probably 246, and you're risking like 60 cents to make $4. So with a little wider stop, 60 cents, $4 divided by 0.6. That's still a 66666 to 1. So the devil's number is apparently the way to go for this trade. So we'll quickly look at Monday's Apple breakout. I already looked at this, but it didn't record, so why not? Let's look at it again, because the more we look at these things, the better. So this is the last one for my 4 trades in my highlight reel. So Apple, and I think this was at like 10 o'clock. Might be a little later. Yeah, so I think, I'm not going to show the tape here, but this is a place to get involved in Apple, was in here. This is not the date. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. But I think at 11, you were past it. So we're really like 10:45. So 10:45, Apple, and you can see the drawings from when I did this before, is it made this wedge. You can see we're making higher highs and higher lows. And I think, price action I'm looking for is for us to resolve that wedge, make a higher low, maybe off the wedge, and then start making up, and to see a bump up in the volume. So let's just move it up, because I don't really have a lot of patience again for watching this again. Still haven't done anything. Now, that's the bar that gets me interested. So let's just move back. I think this is a good entry right here, honestly. Well, let's see if the tape showed it. So let's just watch this tape. So Apple's struggling to break this wedge. There is a bunch of offers that are higher. Is it 259? So really, we're looking for that hold at 260. So let's see. Oh, yeah. See how we spray above 260 and we hold? That's it right there. Let's watch it again. So we're really looking at that break at 260. And we want to see it hold above 260, which it really hasn't. It rejected at 260 before. So this is our 260 level. And it's this is the first time, if we get a consolidation up here, we've just like wicked in there and failed. So, and we buy up. So there you go. See, this is the first time we're like stepping up above 260, which I think is really important. And if you hold this, like, you get a nice move. So that is my highlight reel.